Go right ahead. I'll be happy to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, just a general opinion about where the athletic program is now with the hires, where the success of the program, and your expectations for next year.
Well, I feel very good about where we are right now. I think we have a lot of momentum. We had 5 different sports win a conference championship last year, and that was the first time since 2009 that we've done that. We had 108 student athletes graduate this year. Certainly, we take the term student athlete literally. And I think we've just scratched the surface on what we can ultimately become. We want to aspire to go to a BCS Bowl. We want to go back to the Final Four in men and women's basketball. We want to go to a Final Four in volleyball. We want to go to the College World Series in baseball. And you look around the country, those aren't easy accomplishments, but they can be done. There are schools that are comparable to us that are doing that, and that's really what we aspire for.
What's kind of been the season ticket response to Bobby and compared to maybe last year?
It's been really good. It's certainly increased from where we were a year ago by a lot. Historically, a lot of our fans wait until August to really lock in on their season tickets, and that's something that we need to change as well. I think to get that process started earlier, but I'm encouraged by where it is because of where it was a year ago and really where it was 2 years ago. We made a lot of major steps forward.
How much do you feel like you guys are prepared for, or Bobby is prepared for kind of the national attention that's going to come up in August and September when he starts?
Well, we welcome that, he's very used to it, and that was one of the reasons why we hired him, because the places we want to go as a program are the places he's lived. He's been to BCS Bowls, he's been to the Orange Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, and the Cotton Bowl within the last 6 years, and we want to be a part of that. And so he, to me, is the perfect person to lead us forward because of what he's experienced and the success that he's had. He hasn't just been there, but he's been successful when he's been there. And that will help all of our programs. I really believe a rising tide lifts all boats, and none of our programs have to compete with one another. If one's successful, I think it raises the bar of excellence for everybody, and that's a good thing.
Bobby said he had to answer questions right off the bat about how long he would be there. Are those questions that you've had to answer to about him?
Well, I think if you look at the college football landscape, it's just the world we live in right now. Our last coach, Willie Taggart, did a great job. Western Kentucky was his alma mater, and a lot of us thought he might be here for a long time, and he was just here 3 years. Wisconsin went to the Rose Bowl, and their coach left. So that's the landscape that we're in. And certainly, I think there's an excellent chance that Coach Petrino's at Western Kentucky for a lot longer than maybe people think. But right now, he hasn't coached a game yet, so we're just looking forward to the Kentucky game and the season that we have right now ahead of us.
Now that we've had a few months to kind of settle in, what has been the balance of positive to negative reactions to the hire?
Overwhelmingly positive. It really has been. I think our fans are excited about what he brings to the table. And, the thing about Coach Petrino is he's in the prime of his career. And so for a program like Western Kentucky, who 6 years ago we were playing in a one-sided stadium in the Gateway Conference in football, to now have Bobby Petrino as our head coach is just a huge step forward for us. A lot of times a program will hire somebody that's had a lot of success on a national stage, but they might be 15 or 20 years removed from that. He's 2 years removed from the Sugar Bowl. So our fans recognize that, and I know they're excited about that, and it's brought a lot of energy to our program.
How is he different now? I mean, from just in terms of how he's approaching things. I mean, does he seem, I don't want to say contrite, but does he just seem more grateful for this opportunity that you all have given him?
Well, I never knew him until we hired him, so it's hard for me to say anything, but he's been fantastic to work with. He's been tremendous for our program in every respect. I think he's been very respectful with you guys, with the media. He's been tremendous with our season ticket holders and our donors. He's gone to functions all over the state that we've asked him to go to. And certainly on the football side, he's been great. Our players have really bought into his vision, and I know that they feel like they're getting better, and to me it's been a win-win for everybody.
Have you noticed going watching spring practice and stuff that he's this guy can really coach, he's what he's built to do?
Well, I mean, he's 75 and 26 as a head coach, and he's been to a bowl game 7 of his 8 years, so certainly we knew he could coach. And I think the other things that are overlooked about him, he has strong academic credentials everywhere that he's been. And one thing that's been neat for our guys is he teaches an etiquette class, and that's everything from doing mock interviews and the importance of looking people in the eye when you talk to them, to that he has a place setting in front of them, and they'll go through which fork and what knife to use and things like that. And that's big on him. I mean, the personal development is big for him. He wants our guys to develop as people in addition to players, and that's a great thing.
You made this as almost a statement hire. If you were to beat Kentucky, what statement would that mean right off the bat for this regime?
Well, certainly that would be a huge win for us to beat an SEC team. We beat Kentucky last year in Lexington, and that was a huge win for our program. And for us, we just want to keep getting better. I do not want us to settle, and I know Coach Petrino is the last person that will settle. And that was another reason why we wanted him here. I think it's important for us to keep getting better, and each year to hopefully say we're better off today than we were a year ago.
What kind of ticket fan split do you expect at LP Field? Some excitement around Kentucky, and then a lot of excitement around Western too.
I hope it's a full house, and I hope that certainly we represent. I think the Hilltopper Nation will. I think UK will represent also. I know there's a lot of excitement about Mark Stoops coming into their program, and it's a great way, really, for me. I think not for me, but for our program to kick off the college football season. And it's in Nashville, and that benefits both programs too. I mean, we certainly have a lot of alumni in Nashville. So to play a game there is big for us. Certainly to play at LP Field is a great experience for our kids to play at a pro stadium, and I think it'll be a great experience for the fans.
Have you guys, has tickets started being sold for that? Or
they have been. They sure have.
Do you have a number of the pre-sold?
I don't have a number for you, but they have been sold. They are moving. You know, you can buy them through us, you can buy them through UK, and you can buy them through Ticketmaster.
Basketball-wise, I mean, just where do you feel like this program is? I mean, they went to the NCAA, but where do you feel like they're on the cusp of right now?
Well, I'll use Ray Harper's words there. I mean, he says we've only just begun, and I really believe that. You know, to me, he's defined himself so much as a coach in the way he's handled two very different set of circumstances the last 2 years. And what I mean is, if you look at where our programs were in January each of the last 2 years, for very different reasons each year. 2 years ago, we just had a lot of chaos in our program, to be honest with you. And this past year, we had a lot of injuries. And we weren't in a good spot in January. And I don't think many people thought in March we'd be where we ended up being. But to his credit, we won our conference tournament each of the last 2 years, and in doing so become the only team in the history of college basketball to win their conference tournament 2 straight years by winning 4 games in 4 days. Now what we've got to do is have better regular seasons so we get out of that 16 seed. We don't have to play one of the top teams in the country our first game. But I'm convinced that we will. And on the women's side, the same thing. I mean, Coach Hurd just did a terrific job. She inherited a program that lost 21 games and then won 22 games. You know, so it's a pretty amazing turnaround in 1 year, and I feel very, very good about the direction of both our basketball programs.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Right.